Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Make a Good 24-Hour Mega Man level. During the last part, I cleared the 3 remaining levels, and I unlocked access to the Wily Fortress levels. Now, off screen, I grinded up to max M-Tanks and E-Tanks just to be safe. So I got my M-Tank from Breaking Ground, and I got the 3 E-Tanks from Air Trick. So with that out of the way, let's go through Wily Fortress. I'll go through all of it in one part because I'm not sure if the game saves in between each stage. And of course, here's Wily. His eyebrow wiggling animation seems to be a bit faster than usual. A bit of a smaller fortress, but then again, we're zoomed out, I suppose. Okay, that's an interesting pathway. And just like in Magmal 1 and Magmal 2, each of the judge levels, or rather, each of the Wily Fortress levels is created by an individual judge. Probably the final level will be a combined effort from the 3 judges. I wonder though, are each of the Wily stages going to follow the same rules of the random boxes, where 2 random items and 2 random gimmicks / enemies? Or are they going to remix gimmicks that we've seen before in the previous 6 levels? We'll have to see. Also, because this is CreshMan, we have the super arm blocks. And we just one-shot the Lightning Lord there. Good to know. Oh, and by the way, just as a reminder, this is a blind Let's Play, so my apologies if I make any mistakes. Please feel free to point them out in the comment section below. So it seems that the enemies here are the Lightning Lords and Nobitas. And I jumped over there, but for some reason the controls are a bit sluggish. That's something I noticed throughout this engine, that sometimes the controls can be a little bit slow to activate. I noticed that when sliding, for example. Still, it's better than Mega Man Maker, where sometimes button inputs can be dropped. And now we have springs. I'm curious though, I've only seen 2 enemies, those being the Nobitas as well as the Lightning Lords. And in terms of gimmicks, I only saw the Count Bombs, springs, and these clouds. But then again, the clouds are attached to the enemies, so maybe they're counted as enemies. Oh yeah, these are the perfect places to utilize the water wave. I should be utilizing it more. Like here, for example. I mean, they gave me access to that, so I might as well use it. Just for safety there. I guess this is a checkpoint room or something. Let me just double check. Okay, good. So far so good. I only seen 2 enemy types, so I guess the Wily stages are also following the random box gimmick. Maybe not random, but they're only focusing on 2 enemies and 2 gimmicks, or maybe 3 depending on how you look at it. Oh, wow. Okay, so don't hold down jump unless you hit the top block. I don't trust myself with that, so... Okay, this is a bit lower, so I should be able to make it. Good. I wasn't sure if I would be able to make it, but it's one block lower. And all of these fortress levels, at least this one, is dual buster only. It's a bit easier if you use stuff like the super arm. It seems that this particular Wily Fortress stage is really promoting usage of the super arm, and secondarily the water wave. Well, I'm not complaining. The more usages of those two special weapons, the better. And here we fight the first Wily Fortress boss. Okay. We need to detonate these so we don't get crushed. Good to know. Okay, now we can hit the boss. Well, that's actually a really clever way of fighting the boss. Count Bomb Man or whatever. And he fires an explosive charge. Very neat! And even though I died there, I would like to play through this once more. It looks very neat. I wish more of the level designers actually coded custom bosses, but I'm not sure if it was possible. So it first starts out by shooting those bombs here, and they eventually dissipate. But of course, once I detonate the count bombs, it freezes them in place. Wow, I got kinda crushed over there. Even though I'm dying quite a bit, I'm still enjoying this. It's really creative. I haven't seen that many bosses in Mega Man, or rather Fortress bosses that really utilize the environment itself, or other gimmicks in order to kill you. And it has an easy to understand pattern as well, as long as you're paying attention, of course. And there we go, Count Bomb Man or Count Bomb Face has been destroyed. Very creative. I wish there were more Wily Fortress bosses that utilized previous gimmicks directly during the fight in order to kill them. Most of the time, once you get to a boss fight in Mega Man, the gimmicks taper off. Okay, Wily Fortress 2 is made by ParmaJon. And also of note, the previous level only focused on two enemies, those being the Lightning Lords, as well as the Nobitas. And the gimmicks were, of course, the springs and the count bombs. This one seems to be those alien enemies or those M422 enemies and the Sparkman platforms. And now we have auto-scrolling. Okay then. Okay, the other enemy type are those missile enemies from Mega Man 3. Of course, the main thing I worry about when going to these Sparkman platforms is getting crushed against the ceiling. Thankfully, this won't happen here because in the background, see those purple blocks? Those are where the Sparkman platforms will refuse to go upwards from. They'll stop there. there's an easy visual distinct indicator. Not to mention I can always just use Rush Jet. Oh no, I'm dead. Yeah, getting ambushed by a Colton on that side, that can be a slight problem, especially because, due to how the auto-scrolling works, as I get closer and closer to Colton, it'll be able to fire more and more at once, making it harder and harder. You need to dispatch the Colton really fast there. I'm not complaining though, after all, Wily Fortress levels generally are harder than the traditional levels. There we go. Some of the positioning of the enemies can be a little bit scary though. Oh, thank goodness it actually stops here. I don't need any tank, I fully stocked up beforehand. I could have used it during the boss fight before, but I decided not to. Okay, spikes. I'm expecting a gotcha moment sometime. There we go. Maybe not gotcha, but you understand. Thankfully none of these will skewer me into the wall or crush me, that's a huge benefit. This one is a bit more scary though, because that one will try pushing into the spikes. Now we're right to left auto-scroller. This is the perfect place to utilize the water wave, especially because it's close quarters and most enemies are on the ground anyway. I wonder what the previous boss's weakness was, though. Okay, this auto-scroll is a little bit faster. Definitely faster. Whoa. I need to really slide over here if I want to keep up. Oh my goodness. Rush Jet time? Never mind, you're intended to fall down here and... okay. An up to down auto-scrolling segment, where we need to avoid being crushed by an invisible ceiling. And we need to be careful not to go too low so we don't end up falling into spikes, or a bottomless pit, of course, as what happened there. Well, it wasn't too far back anyway, so not complaining. But gosh, this auto-scrolling segment's really scary, especially because of how fast it goes. Okay, let's try doing it using the Rush Jet this time. And see if there's anything on the right side. Nope. That's the end of the auto-scrolling segment there. This is definitely a bit harder than the left to right and right to left segments because of the ceiling. Not to mention we can't go too fast to the bottom, otherwise we'll die. Okay, so this will crush me. So instead I'll just use Rush Jet. But this was definitely the hardest auto-scrolling segment, though I wish there was one that went from down to up. After all, we had one going from right to left, left to right, and up to down. We might as well have one going from down to up. That looks a bit strange there. Krakow? Okay, so it's a lightning cloud that keeps firing these spark shots of sorts. Switching between which side, trying to lock onto me. Yeah, it's basically Krakow. That was my fault getting knocked back into there. I guess his weakness is the water wave because water conducts electricity. Nothing else can hit it properly, so... Or maybe the chill spike, we'll see. Still, it's a fun boss fight. Let me try it out then. Nope. Okay then, so it's chill spike? Yeah, it's chill spike. Alright, that was the end of the Krako machine, or whatever, the cloud machine. Very fun boss fight. And the chill spike weakness makes sense because it fires upwards. So great work with the stage, ParmaJon. Certainly more difficult than the first one. Okay, the third stage was made by sodium hydroxide and ACESpark. I was expecting Mini Macro to make this level, but okay then. And immediately we have a dropping segment. Where are we going? Oh, of course. I should have thought about that earlier. Let's go to the left. Wait, do we have alternate pathways for this level? It seems to be because I could have gone to the right. A bit of force weapon usage here, but because we have the infinitely respawning tackle fires, it's not as bad. Plus, you can't waste your super arm energy anyway, so it's not as bad either. The only place you can use it is on the blocks, and, well, there are enough blocks to break. I guess CreshMan is quite happy with this segment. Considering how many blocks here are breakable. Oh, these enemies. I haven't seen them for quite a while, ever since Magma 1. Okay, that pit over there looks suspicious. This stage probably has multiple routes, and... Okay, this is different. Tackle fires are flying in constantly. If I can ever kill that big croaker, I'll be happy. Of course, there are more of them. This calls for water wave, of course. This musical track gives me the sense that this is a temple or something. Oh, thank you for the extra life. Really appreciate it, game. Now I need to be a bit careful with spikes. Please damage boost. Oh boy, that was close. I was worried I was gonna die in the spikes there. So this is a clever super arm challenge, definitely. But boy, the number of tackle fires here is going crazy. Then again, we're reaching the inner sanctum, I think. Okay, we're out of that place. Thank you for the full refill of everything. Okay, we're somewhere now. And now we have infinite weapon energy of everything. Well, okay then. I was half expecting a boss rematch, but we only had 5 bosses anyway. And all of them were Roadmaster encounters, so I guess not. Okay. I was expecting a bigger Wily machine, but this works. Star Crash? Oh, you're forced to use special weapons here, that's why you have infinite weapon energy. Now I understand. So I'll just kill myself over here because I need to do this properly. I didn't realize you were forced to use special weapons here, but because we have infinite weapon energy, it's not much of a problem. Then again, you could also just give us limited weapon energy, and as long as you gave a full Yashiki at the beginning of this fight, it'd be fine. I guess here we're going to utilize all of our special weapons against this Wily machine. Kind of a lower budget one because it's missing the top. First phase, it throws all the star crashes. Oh, it makes sense because the water wave is a star crash. The water wave back in Mega Man 5 was Starman's weakness, and it dissipates the star crash just like before. Clever. That's a clever way of signaling what weapon to utilize. Oh, and it also has a Starman symbol right on the machine itself. Even better. And now we have Nitro Man. So now we have to use a chill spike because that was his weakness. Also very clever. I took a dead over there because I just wanted to make sure. This is one of the most clever Wily Machine fights, or one of the more clever ones. Here we're forced to utilize special weapons, but it's really well telegraphed which weakness it is, plus we have infinite weapon energy to test things out, plus there are not that many weapons anyway. And if you played the original games where these weapons came from, you should be able to deduce, based on the Wily Machine's design, which one's strong against which. So very clever work, Sodium Hydroxide and ACESpark. Let's go through the Starman machine. And whenever his eyes flashes, that means he'll be spawning in the star crash from left or right. So now the Nitro machine, let's use Chill Spike, specifically the spike portion. All of this is perfectly dodgeable if you're careful, and oh, apparently you can carry more than one E-Tank. I mean more than 3 E-Tanks. Okay, phase 2 done. What's next up? Okay, the Super Arm machine. Oh yeah, Cutman machine, so Cutman's weakness was of course the Super Arm. Will it infinitely respawn though? That's the question. I also like the clever fact that all of the scissors get destroyed by the Super Arm. Okay, that's phase 3 down. Now time for... I guess this is a time stopper. I mean time slow. Oh yeah, Gutsman, of course. We need to shoot back those blocks. Specifically the big ones. Ah yes, in Mega Man Powered Up, Gutsman's weakness was a time slow, I think. And no invulnerability frames either. So that's phase 4 done. What's left? Well, Wily's been defeated. That was a really neat Wily Machine encounter. Definitely one of the more favorable ones. For a game like this, I didn't expect the game to go all out with this type of Wily Fortress boss or Wily Machine. It certainly beats the classic Skull Machines or Wily Capsules, though I'm a bit sad that Mini Macro didn't have a Wily Fortress level. At the very least we had a third and final one. So overall this was a pretty pleasant game. There wasn't really a cohesion between each of the levels because of course they were like Magmal and Magmal 2, where they had different sets of gimmicks and whatever else. And more importantly, I really like the idea of how not only do the level designers have 24 hours to complete the levels, they were forced to create a level based off a random set of 2 items and 2 enemies. That was really creative, and I wish more level design contests do something similar. I wouldn't mind seeing a 24-hour part 2 or a 48-hour like ParmaJon expressed interest in. So a very pleasant experience overall, and I would say most of the levels outside of probably NaOH's greenhouse were fun to play through. NaOH's greenhouse was just broken, and it was kind of fun to break through the level that way. And the Wily Fortress stages in general were a bit more difficult than the rest, especially 1 and 2 with the auto-scrolling segments. Though I find it kind of neat that the first Wily Fortress focused on only 2 enemies and 2 gimmicks, whereas the second one focused more on a general set, same with the third one. But I really like how the third Wily Fortress stage really incentivized the usage of the super arm, and I already sung all my praises for the Wily machine. So I thank all of you who participated in this game, and designed it, and brought it out of production hell. It was a pleasant romp to go through. Okay, Abyss Balcony was the first one. I like how we actually have the actual names for the stages. Would have preferred to see them on the stage select screen, or the introduction. Up and Duck, that's a clever name. Would have preferred if there was a Rise to the Top segment, aka an auto-scroller going upwards. Okay, Cloud Devil and Giga Count Bomb, I was close. I also found it really neat that a few of the levels and the final boss actually have unique musical tracks. Really, the level designers or game creators of this game didn't need to go all out or didn't need to put as much effort in it as it is right now, but the fact they did really promotes this game. If I were to rate this game out of scale of 10, I would say it's above average to almost good. Mainly due to all the levels being there, but the main things that brought it down for me, outside some of the level issues, but I can't blame the level designers for that, were the weapon choice not having a long-range weapon specifically, and some of the weaponry not getting their time to shine, like for example the Chill Spike, the Water Wave. Time Slow was a nice utility. Super Arm was really dependent on how the terrain was set, so I really wish there was a longer run anyway. Oh, wait a minute, the game isn't done just yet. We have secret instructions. Press shoot on the pause menu to access alternate weapon sets. So let's try out these alternate weapon sets. Thanks, Pyro. Let's try it in my favorite level, that being Flooded Temple. So let's see here. So now we have the Hornet Chaser, Jewel Satellite, Grab Buster, and Triple Blade, as well as the Wire Adapter and Super Arrow. I think all these are from Magmal 2, of course, so let's see here. Just like in Magmal 2. And of course, the Jewel Satellite reflects projectiles back at enemies. We also have the Grab Buster, where if it actually hits an enemy, it'll regenerate some of my health, as demonstrated here. And of course the Triple Blade. Works self-explanatory. Let's see, Wire Adapter pulls us upwards. Probably going to be even more specialized, but there are a few places where it'd be useful, like in Wily Fortress 1. And of course the Super Arrow from Mega Man 5 would have been really helpful in a lot of stages, or most stages actually. Overall, this weapon set is much superior to the first one. That's for sure. Not only do we have long-range potential with, for example, the Hornet Chaser, okay, that was a bit of an odd glitch there. We have long-range homing potential with the Hornet Chaser. Okay, there's some odd glitches with doing the LR here. We also have straightforward energy regeneration with the Grab Buster. We can have a shield weapon to attack enemies nearby and deflect projectiles with a Jewel Satellite. And we have a short-range spammable weapon with the Triple Blade that is better than the Buster. Honestly, this weapon set better fits the game overall, as opposed to, for example, the base weapon set we got with the flash stopper. Oh, wait a minute, we even have more alternate weapon sets. I didn't expect that. We also have the flash stopper, slash claw, wheel cutter, Sakugarne, match blast. Oh, that's a spoiler for Magmal 2. And Skeletop and ParmaJon. Flash stopper, of course, freezes time in place here. Kind of a superior version of time slow, but then again, this would cause issues in side-scrolling segments, or auto-scrolling segments, I mean. We have the slash claw, which pierces through enemy guards and brutally slashes enemies in half. It's super effective against shield attackers. Wheel cutter, just like we saw in the final boss fight. Pretty super useful, one of my favorite weapons in Magmal 2, of course. Sakugarne would have been also really helpful throughout this LP due to spikes. And we can bounce on top of enemies, of course. If you watch my Magmal 2 LP, you'll know about all these weapons already. We also have the Match Blast, which we haven't seen in Magmal 2 just yet, and whoops. Essentially, it blasts you in the opposite direction of where you're holding the controller when you're shooting it. See, if I fire normally, I'll just get shunted upwards and it acts like a Mega Ball. But if I fire to the right, or rather fire and hold right on the controller, I go that direction. If I hold down, I get shot upwards. Hold left, this way, up, down. You can take a lot of crazy stats doing this. A lot of crazy speedrunner strats. We haven't seen this yet in Magmal 2, but I will unlock it eventually. Well, okay then. So basically this is a super weapon, where we get this really strange warping of two enemies. I get the feeling it's a meme or in-joke from the private server that this game was created in. Not to mention, I recognize that vocal track from ACESpark. Let's see if there's any other alternate weapon sets. Nope, that's it. Both of these alternate weapon sets are much better than the base one we get with the Water Wave, Time Slow, Super Arm, and Chill Spike, that's for sure. I would definitely trade them for this base weapon set outside maybe the Super Arm for the final level, because it's much more superior and has a better balance between long-range weaponry, short-range weaponry, and replacements for the Buster. If you want to do an NG playthrough, go for it, especially with the Match Blast's speedrunning potential. Like I said, this was a really fun overall gameplay experience. So, I guess this is the end of this LP series. I thank you all viewers for watching me throughout this series, it's very appreciated. Please rate, comment, and or subscribe, as it really helps out the channel, and really helps motivate me to create new LP content. And if you're wondering, yes, I will continue my Magmal 2 LP series very soon, that's for sure. There's a lot of things left to do there, and I'll explain my absence more during the next part of that series. Well then, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.